Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and in this video we're going to be checking out the new Gen 2 version of the AIDA Imaging 20X Zoom PTZ camera. So let's go. Hey folks, AJ the CEO here. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, thanks for stopping by. And on this channel, we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you like what we're doing here, consider becoming a patron or a YouTube member by clicking one of the links down below. So this is the second version of the AIDA Imaging PTZ camera that I have installed in numerous churches, and really excited about this. We're actually going to be installing this camera at a church down in Norfolk that I did before, maybe about a year and a half ago. We upgraded their computer, but now they want to add some new cameras. So we have a G50, but they specifically wanted a PTZ camera. So, hey, this is the one that was picked, and this is what we're going to do and review it. So let's go ahead and break this out. It literally just got delivered. Here. AIDA Imaging. So let's see what's inside. Let me get my mic out the way so I don't hit anything. There'll be a link in the description if you are interested in this. Plan on, maybe if I take the tape off, AJ, you'll be able to open it. I didn't see it there. But pretty much there's going to be a link in the description if you're interested in this. We're going to go through, like we normally do, we're going to go through all the features. We're going to hook it up to, they're actually getting an ATEM Mini Pro, but I am going to hook this up to my ATEM Mini Pro ISO. We're going to test it out over SDI. As well as HDMI, and hook it up to a remote and all that other fun stuff. So let's see what is inside. All right, so we got a manual, got the remote, a power cord, but this is international. I'm not using this. This plug I'll be using. Box here with some goodies in here. And man, provided a USB 3.0 cable. That's awesome. See what else is here. Yeah, so we have different international plugs for whatever you need. But like I said, I'm not using any of those. And then we have the main piece. We got the actual camera. A lot smaller than the Gen 1, but really nice, really smooth and slick. All right, so let's see what's on the features on here. So we have our RS-232 in and out, HDMI out. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna look at the manual for that. Looks like audio in, but that's a weird way that they did it. HDMI out, SDI out, USB out, LAN in connection. I'm gonna see how that works. I don't know if this can be controlled over that protocol, but we'll see. And then we also have power in, and I'm assuming the power brick is probably in here. All right, and it also has a lens cover here. Very, very nice. I don't think I need the remote. Yep, it is the power brick. All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to play around with every single connection in here. I have an SDI cable, but I got to go out to my car to get that, since all of them are left in the car from when I did the work at Greater Works. So let's go ahead and set this up, and then we're going to hook it up to everything, and let's see what it looks like. All right, so we are here on the desktop now, and I have the PTZ connected to my network, and the default password to log in is admin. And if we come in here, as you can see, we can get in here. I actually have a HuddleCam joystick connected to here, and it's going over Visca, and that's why I'm connected to the camera right now. So this is the preview window that you can see through the browser, and as you can see, you're seeing my messy apartment. You see me right there. Hello. Doing everything here. So you can do some controls inside of here, but again, they are slow in comparison to what they would really be. So let's go over here and look at the settings here. We can do some of the video encoding. You don't want to turn this off, because if you do, you won't be able to see anything on that preview screen that we just came from. Not a lot of options inside of here. Video transmission, you can put in RTMP address information here if you wanted to. You have the audio encoding. So if you connected audio directly to this camera, you can set the volume, bit rate, and all that other stuff here. You do have some image adjusting here. You can do some white balance, turn on the digital zoom if you want. Exposure, like I said, white balance. You can flip it, do a mirror, so if you want to hang it upside down from a ceiling or something like that, so you can have clear view, which is probably what I'm going to do when I install this. You can turn on backlight compensation, where you saw the picture just change. Wide dynamic range, you can turn that on. It's a lot of stuff that you can do with this. Image settings and noise reduction, you can really play around with these settings. Next, we have Ethernet. You have DHCP, turn that on, or you can hard code the address in here. Now, I don't know if I did something wrong with this, but every time I tried to set DHCP, it wouldn't give me anything. So I had to hard set this. So even though it says DHCP, I had to manually put in this address. I don't know what that is. Maybe I might have done something wrong, but I don't know. You also have your firmware update. I have since updated this twice to the latest firmware, which is version 940. You can go here and reset the defaults, do a simple reset, get rid of all your image settings, or a complete factory reset if you wanted to, or a reboot. Then you also have the controls, the account, so that you can set the password to something different than the default admin. Now, in full transparency, I had to tell you, I had some issues with getting the camera set up because, first off, I didn't read the manual. And then secondly, there was just some things, I guess I was trying to do something that I guess maybe this wasn't meant to do. So as you can see right now, and maybe I should pan this up so you can actually see a little bit. Right now, I have this connected to my ATEM Mini Pro ISO. I am going from SDI to an SDI to HDMI converter, then HDMI into my ATEM. We also have it going HDMI directly to the TV, and then there's also USB, which I have connected to the system. If I come back over to my desktop here, you can see here on the desktop that I have it already embedded. It says ATEM, but if we double click on here, you can see it shows up as the PTZ-X20-IP. That's what I have going to it. So it supports all three outputs at the same time. Now, this is the part that I had an issue with. I tried to connect this to my laptop over here that I do for streaming games and stuff like that, but this is USB 3.0. So with 2.0, which I believe is on my laptop, it does not support the higher frame rate. So it naturally would drop the setting to 720p. So this camera does not, well, when I had everything connected, the ATEM wouldn't pick it up. the TV wouldn't pick it up, because when I connected it over USB, the USB overrode the settings of the resolution and pushed it down to what the USB could support. Now, the computer I'm connected to right now is my main video editing system. I am connected to USB 3.0. I can do 1080p 60 frames a second, and it's not an issue, and I can get images on the SDI out, HDMI out, and the USB out, and all of them are exactly the same. But the instant I tried to connect it to my laptop over USB, none of the rest of them worked. I got a resolution mode not supported by my 4K TV behind me. Nothing picked up on the ATEM. It was crazy. I was scratching my head. I'm like, what in the world is going on? So no matter what I did, I had to contact AIDA Imaging, because I was like, what in the world? Did the camera break? Was it something like that? And then just me banging away at this, just trying everything, that's when I was able to find out that was the problem. So the initial unboxing, I've done that. That was actually 3 days ago. And then it took me that long to figure this stuff out. Now, some other things I noticed with this, and again, it could be me, but I am using these Marshall converters that I normally do, where it turns RS-232 into Ethernet so it can go for longer distance, because Ethernet cable is significantly cheaper than the RS-232 cables. It has an in and an out. I always connect those even if I'm not daisy chaining it to another camera right now. That's how I had this camera set up, and I wasn't getting anything either, and I didn't know what in the world was going on until I just happened to unplug this little adapter, and image came up. So I don't know if it's, I really don't know. I mean, there was no reason for me to be connected to it, but at the same time, I don't see why it should be a problem, because it's just like nothing really being connected. Is dead on the connection. It just converts it over if no signal is going. I don't know. It just could have been that there's so much stuff that I was trying to test that I just crossed wires, and maybe that's not even it at all. But I just know I don't have nothing connected to it, and I'm getting the image, and it works perfectly fine. It could be that I was just connected to a USB 2.0. Could be that. I don't know. But more importantly, we got everything set up. Everything is flowing fine. I have this huddle cam right now controlling it, and as you can see, so I can move this around, and as you can see, up, down, left, right, works great. So like I said, it is powered over PoE, so you can just run it that way. You can have 3 outputs going at the same time, USB, SDI, and HDMI. Just make sure all of those connections support the resolution they're trying to push out, mainly the USB. So in theory, you could actually get this and be overkill for a webcam and connect it over USB, and that works. And then you could hook it up to a capture card. You could hook it up to an ATEM like I'm doing. You have multiple options. They can be daisy chained together, and really, really a great camera. And again, my fault for not reading a lot of this stuff, because I've just been dealing with many of these. I thought it would just be the same. So that was my fault. After I actually read thoroughly, everything worked perfectly. So I put a lot of extra stress on myself for no reason for that. But I'm really excited about installing this, seeing what this is, because I've installed a bunch of the Gen 1. So this is the first Gen 2. And I'm really looking at adding a couple of PTZ cameras at my church. And I have a bunch of other projects that are coming up that we're either going to be installing some of these or some other brands. It all depends what the church decides on. But I have a slate of options that they can pick, whether it's this one or some of the other PTZs that a lot of churches are using and I have installed. So there's a link in the description for the PTZ. Pretty much, I really don't know what else to say except for it. I will bring you along with me when I'm actually installing this next week down at a church in Norfolk. Actually, they have through B&H Photo, they actually have their own wall mount. That was only like $50 to go with it. So really cost effective. And this is going to be connected to a system that we already had, but it works great. And I just don't know. I'm really thinking about taking it with me to the next football game that we got this Friday and use the joystick, see how easy that will be, because I'm looking at buying something like this to have a PTZ with the sports stuff that we've been doing for this year. Makes it a lot easier than having to move cameras all the time. But again, this is the AIDA Imaging X20-IP PTZ camera. Excellent choice. Great picture quality, great performance, and easy setup when you read the manual. Unlike what I didn't do, but once you get it set up, works great. Supports a whole bunch of resolutions, and I'm happy with it. And I hope my client is going to be happy with the upgrade that they get in making it a lot easier to control this than just a regular camcorder. So if you have any other questions, please let me know down below. I'll have this with me for about a week so I can still play around with it. So if you got any questions, please leave them down below. I will try to get to them as fast as I can. But if it's a week from now, from when this video posts, I most likely do not have it anymore and it has been installed. But be on the lookout for the vlog of where I install this at the church down in Norfolk. And that's about it. So if you like this type of content, I appreciate a like, consider subscribing, and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. And I want to thank the patrons and the YouTube members for making this video possible. Their names on the screen right now. And you too can become a patron or a YouTube member by clicking the links down below. And no matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train media ministries all over the world. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ, and we will see you on the next video. Later.